Okay, so we are live. This
I think
is Peg. You think?
so.
Okay. This is Peg and Chelsea, and we are Art Joy is Sharing, which is a Facebook group on Facebook. And we also have a live stream every Thursday. Right now we are streaming at 10:30. So I hope you can come and join us. We enjoy having people in our audience. And if you can't join us live, be sure and catch the replay because we're glad you join us whenever you can. Good morning, Shell. How are you?
I am good. I think I've got everything I need for pastels today. And we want to welcome some people. We have a couple different Cindys. And we have Laura. And let's see. Ian. Hi, Ian. I think that's it. 2 Cindys, a Laura, and an Ian right now.
Well, good morning. We're glad you're here. Oh, yeah. And then my iPad just went hinky. All
Did
right,
it?
try this again.
Okay, so what we're doing today is pastels, and there's a lot of options on pastels. What I'm going to be using today is pan pastels, and I was going to show you all my stuff here real quick. I ordered 2, well, actually I got them for Christmas from my friend, but I asked for, sorry, darn it. I asked for pan pastels one Christmas a couple years ago. I thought it was going to be the thing I was going to be into, and she bought me these 2 sets, and it's the portrait set and the painting set, which is a good way to get a collection. Plus, you get some soft tools, which are this like dense foam tool for applying the pan pastel. You get some of that with the sets, but I thought when I put these on my list that there was not going to be any duplicates, and there did end up being duplicates of like titanium white and a couple other ones. So I did end up with duplicates. I was following the frugal crafter Lindsay, and she said to order these sets because you wouldn't get duplicates, but she was wrong. Then I also have pastel paper. This is the Strathmore, and this pad comes in a variety of colors. There's a kind of a blue-gray and a buff and a kind of a tan color, and then the cream. Oh, and a lighter cream, I guess. So 5 colors, and I've got the lightest one out here. And I've already made my drawing because I didn't want to spend a bunch of time doing that. And then also I have out my pastel pencils for detailing because sometimes I feel like the soft tools I can't get in enough detail, so I have this one set of Derwent pastel pencils. So that's what I'm planning to use, maybe 1 or 2 other things, but I'm not really sure yet. So what do you have, Peg?
Well, I work with my pan pastels mostly. I was playing this morning, and I want to show you some alternatives to what is from pan pastel. I have a lot of the tools, as Shell says, the soft applicators, and I just keep them in a box like this. But you don't necessarily have to buy, the soft tools. I have found that many of the tools that I already use work very well. This is one of those scruffy things from Stencil Girl, and I love this if I'm applying to a large area. You can see I just swiped across the page this morning using this. This works very well. It's a nice type of sponge. These are dollar store sponges. I found these the other day. I've seen them on some arts and crafts sites, and they are more expensive than that. But look in your dollar store because, yes, these cosmetic sponges like this have a nice surface to blend with. And I blended through a stencil doing this morning. So this is a nice alternative. The other thing that's nice to have is also from the dollar store is one of these little makeup brushes. This will brush any of the dust away when you're working with the pastels because you do create dust. I also have these are water-soluble oil pastels, which are very inexpensive. I think these are maybe $5 to $7, and they blend out with water. So if I want to use this on top or underneath, it's going to work, and I can pick up. I wonder where my brush is. Okay, I'll just have a dirty brush here. I can also use a brush and blend. And one of the things about pan pastels is they work nicely with watercolors. So if you want to, suppose you have a watercolor that isn't doing exactly what you want it to do. It isn't. You've muddied it up. It isn't as bright. You can't go back and fix it with watercolor. Pen pastel is a real good way of applying that extra color on top of a watercolor.
Peg, Ian and Cindy both say that your microphone is messing up.
Well, let's give it a chance. We go through this every single time.
Yeah. I'm just telling you, they're yelling it in the chat with capitals. So.
Okay, I'm not going to talk for a while.
Yeah, see if it can get itself adjusted. Maybe that would be nice. Okay, so the nice thing about pan pastels is their intensity. They are very opaque. Often they are, not every single color, obviously, because these are done, they're artist quality and they're done in the artist colors. So they're those weird colors that you see and you don't really know what they mean, but they mean the pigments that they are made out of. But the color intensity is really nice. And what I've noticed, though, is that it's a good idea to have some type of rough paper, because the pastel needs a place to rest, needs a place to go to when you're using it. And so that's the reason that I originally got that pastel paper, is because it has a lot of what they call tooth, which just means it's rough. If you have a cold press watercolor, it has one watercolor paper that has one side that's really rough, and it can work as well. The tools that I have here, whoa, something went crazy. They come with different tips, and they kind of almost look like makeup applicators. I seem to have an echo. So you have your square and your kind of rounded, and then the one that would go in the eyeshadow crease, and then the one that would go along the lash line. And these little pieces come off. When they get dirty, you can take them off and put clean ones on. Then I've got some bigger ones and some smaller ones with different rounded tips and things to apply in the backgrounds. Ian, it was actually Peg had the sound on, so she's taking her headset off. So we'll get this worked out. It's just the same old, same old. So you can apply one color over the top of another. I guess I can scoot this down. My piece is really large today. And blend the colors on the paper or off the paper. Like that. Let's see, you want a little bit brighter color over here. The way that I have my pastels sorted, I got these little, these don't come with it. I got these little 10 hole trays, and I kind of like sorted them by color families. So I'm just reaching in, grabbing a color, applying it, and then reaching back in. If your pan pastel gets dirty on the top, you can just wipe it off. And also, when you want to change colors with your sponge, you just take a piece of shop towel or paper towel or kitchen roller, whatever you want to call it, and just rub it off like that. So now you can use it in a different color if you want to.
So we still have people joining us, Shell. I'm want to welcome everybody who is coming in now. Hopefully the sound is getting better for you guys. We'll see. I know some people had some issues watching last week, and you may just need to refresh or go out and come back in if that happens to you, because we had people who were doing just fine, and then we had some people who were not. So I would say if you're having some issues, you may need to, just go out and come back in. So one of the things I want to talk to you about is to check out, if you're interested in pan pastels, check out their website. They have a lot of information on there. I printed off this color chart for the pan pastels, which is really nice. They have some videos out there for you. So, just give it a look-see. I am also going to work on a canvas today. This is just a 8 by 10 stretch canvas, and yeah, nothing special, just a canvas. So I've gessoed it, and I'm going to apply some layers to it. I want to use some stencils. I have a whole bunch of new stencils that I haven't even broken out of the box yet, so I think I need to use some of them. And I think I'm going to use my smaller palette. I'll tell you right now, I have a small 10-piece palette, and I also have 3 of the larger ones. I prefer the small ones. If you're wondering which kind to get to store your pastels in, these are not good for travel because they will break. And I've seen people fix them with alcohol, but I prefer not. You see, if you look at this pan, you can see the ones that are crumbled. Now these are perfectly fine. You can use these, but just know that these will break, and probably not the best thing for travel. So I think I'll pick this palette just because it has some nice bright colors in it, and we'll go from there.
You know what they should make? They should make tiny pan pastels, because these things will last my lifetime. These big ones, I'm never going to use these things up, ever. So if they had some tiny ones, then you could travel with them.
I think if I was painting daily with pastels, I probably could use them up. But there's a lot of pigment in these pans, folks, and they go a long way, because when you use the pan pastel, you just lightly brush across it a couple of times, and you pick up enough to cover quite a large area. So I'm just saying, you may not want to use a lot. Now I'm going to use some Versamark right off, and I'm going to grab a stencil. Let me get one of these new ones out that I haven't had yet. This looks fun. Doesn't that look fun? I think I like that.
That does look fun.
Yeah. So I'm just going to apply some Versamark through that stencil. And come down the left side of my canvas here. I probably should have inked this before we started, but oh well, we'll work with what we have, right?
We can't remember everything. At least I
you can. I know you can.
No, I'm pretty sure I can't.
Okay, so now that I've done that, you can see that there's kind of a glossy, maybe you can kind of see there's kind of a glossy sheen there where the ink hit. And I'm gonna start with this kind of limey green, and I'm just gonna blend that onto the canvas here.
Lima green.
Lima green.
I think you mean, let's see, bright yellow green.
Yeah, this one Yeah, and that's the other thing I don't like about these is the color is on the back
On
side.
the bottom, I know.
This is Hansa Yellow Shade, actually.
Oh, the bright limey green I have is brighter and limier than that.
Yeah,
Tell you what.
this is a shading color, but I like it because it's kind of a pea green almost, you know?
We should talk about the colors and what that means when you say that
Okay.
it's a shading color.
Yeah. They come in family sets, and there are 4 colors to a set. Let's see if I have one that's a complete set. I don't know that I have one that is a complete set because I bought what I liked when I first bought. If you look at this row, it has purples. And so it has violet shade, violet tint, and then a gray shade. So, I mean, I have 3 of the 4 that are in this particular family. And what that means is that they've already added the black or the white or whatever it is to this to make it so that it does the progression for you in colorization. So you can see when I put my big trays together, I put them together in families.
I did not as much. And the ones that say tint are the ones that have had white added to the pigment, titanium, and then the ones that say shade have had black added to it. So they started with the actual shade, and then they add it in for you so that you don't have to blend yourself, because it would be kind of hard to blend the pastels except for just on the paper. I don't think you could like take them apart and blend them. So I'm still working on my background. I have this orangey sky up at the top, orangey red sky, kind of a sunsetty look. And then I started with some green down at the bottom, working around my figures. And alternating between using the little tiny tools. Probably my favorite one is this, where did I put it? This square tool. I like that one the best, but then I tend to prefer flat brushes. And this is a flat brush as opposed to, say, a rounded watercolor brush would be similar to this, and then this would be a shading brush. You know, they're trying to make them like brushes. And they do actually call this painting, although there isn't any paint. But when you see someone, I did a pastel painting, that's what they mean.
So
somehow
they're saying
I'm
the
going to have to
sound
get
is
this.
much better, which is good. Someone is asking about Versamark, and you don't necessarily have to use Versamark. You can just use an embossing ink, what you want, or a pigment ink. You need something that's going to stay wet long enough for you to apply the pigment powder to. And Versamark is a good one for that. I have a Emboss It dauber here, which you could just daub on, or regular embossing ink is going to work just fine too.
Anything sticky,
Right.
oily, sticky is basically what you're going for.
Hope that answers anybody's questions about that.
I don't know. Were they asking what Versamark is?
Not sure. I was just, my scroll is really tiny and it goes by fast.
Yeah. Let's welcome some new people that have joined us. Nikki, hi Nikki. Let's see. Barbara has joined us.
Yeah, Barbara's talking about the watermarking that you do with the Versamark, and yes, it will do a lovely watermark. So it's a good pad to have in your arsenal. Right?
Marilyn and Marie. I'm trying to scroll backwards. And Leslie. Leslie is the first time she is joining.
Oh, well, welcome, Leslie. We're glad you're here.
So I better get back to my painting or I'm never going to get done in an hour and a half.
So, yeah, I'm not doing anything quite that ambitious. The other thing that you want to have handy is paper toweling. When you're cleaning off your tools. But until then, if you are cleaning off, what you want to do is take a paper towel and just clean it right onto the paper towel. And once you don't see any more residue coming off on your paper towel, then you know it's safe to go to another color and you're not contaminating. And it really doesn't matter if you contaminate. Like if I take this blue and go over here to my yellow, normally people would be very concerned about that. But the cool thing about working with the pan pastel is you just take your sponge and you can clean that right off and you don't have that issue. So you're not contaminating anything. Let's see. Nikki. Hi, Nikki. And Lisa and yeah. Okay, Laura's here. Yeah, okay. I think I'm caught up with the chat now.
Yeah, but then they're just going to talk some more and you'll be not anymore.
Yeah, so I better get some stuff on my surface here, right?
I think so, yes. I think that would be your best choice.
Yeah. So, how's the weather been out there, Shell?
It is hot. Just the way I like it.
Yeah, I wish I could say that.
No, you were just saying you have snow. That's ridiculous.
We do. We do have snow. And ice and sleet and all kinds of yucky stuff.
Well, that's just crazy. I don't understand it.
I am not ready for that. It's April, folks. It just isn't right. Just isn't right. Yeah, and it's been like, it'll warm up for like, I don't know, maybe a day or two, and it goes right back. It drops right back down to freezing and right back to snow. I am so done with winter.
I never liked winter in the first place. It needs to go far, far away. But then that's why I live in Arizona.
Yeah, good choice.
I've lived in other places and I didn't like any of them as far as weather. But then people out here are like, oh, but it's so hot. It gets so hot. I don't like it when it's hot. Well, then be a snowbirder and only come during the moderate season and then go back to wherever you came from.
I could be a snowbird. I like that idea.
Yeah. It works out good. You get moderate on both ends.
Mm-hmm. I wonder if I have a pink. I should pull a pink out here.
Probably have a magenta.
Oh, believe me, I have lots. Lots of colors. I don't have all 80. I think I have about 60, and I called that enough. Originally when I bought, I just bought a few pans of the colors that I liked, which I thought, oh, well, let's just get a few of those and try them out. Well, I liked them. Only then I decided that I didn't have enough to do the blending and what I wanted to with. So then I started looking for sales and buying, buying more and more, right?
More and more and more and more. That's how it happens.
Yeah. I probably should have done this on a hard surface instead of a canvas. But that's the way I roll, right? Let's see.
So as far as painting with pastels is basically exactly the same as painting with anything else. You're putting in your layers, you're layering your color just like you would with something else. I kind of feel that these little tools wear out too fast, though. Of course, I'm stingy and I don't want to put a new one on there, even though it's like completely coming apart. I don't want to put anyone on it.
Well, okay, here's the deal. They do not stand up to scrubbing. I'll tell you that, folks. They do not stand up to scrubbing. So you really want to have a light hand, and I know I don't. I know I'm hard on my tools. But if you have a light touch, they will last longer. Just saying.
Well, if you're working on rough paper like this pastel paper, I don't care how light your touch is, it's not going to last because the paper is.
You want to tell them about pastel paper?
Sure. Pastel paper just basically is a rough, toothy paper so that when you apply the pastels, it goes down into the paper and gives you an option of more layers on one on top of the other. If you use a smooth paper, there's nothing for the pastel to grab onto, and it just blows off, basically. Like, you could just take this brush like I'm doing right now to get this excess off, and it would just all come off because I didn't have anything to grab to.
Well, and honestly, that's what they tell us. Here's my take on it. I remember way back when I first started all of this, they told me that I needed all of this stuff, right? That I needed to have ground for pastel, and I needed, you can throw all that right out the window. If you seal your work when you're done, I mean, this is a visual journal, which is Strathmore. It's a mixed media paper. It's 100% cotton with a vellum finish, okay? You can see I have pastel on here, and it works just fine. The thing is, as you do your layering, you want to use a fixative to set that. So I use Spectrafix, which is totally safe. You can spray this in your room. It's odor-free. It's not going to hurt anything. And it's going to set that layer, and then you can continue to work. And it's not going to work. It's not going to rub off like it does right now. If I spray this, it's going to set that layer. And you want to hold it up in the air like this, because you don't want to, spray it laying down and blob it. You want to hold it up in the air and just, lightly go across and put a layer of fixative on there, and that's going to set that layer for you.
Yep, that's also what I have, Spectrafix. I'm like really, really sensitive to things that stink or that have a chemical. It just makes me sick instantly. And so Spectrafix is something that I've used not only on my pastels, but on other things that I wanted to seal. If I wanted to do it, didn't want to go outside, I'll seal like a watercolor or something with it as well, because I just cannot stand the smell of stinky stuff. Just can't stand it.
Yeah, it's a good product. It's a little bit pricey, but for me, it was worth it. Because I wanted something that I could spray in my studio and continue to work.
Yep. And I'm probably going to do that real soon, actually.
Hitting my sides now. I want to get that with a little bit of that greenish color and some of this blue. Get a little of that.
I wish I wasn't so cheap. I need to change out this end on this thing. Like, no, I don't want to change it. That means I've lost another one.
Yeah. Well, sometimes we do what we must, right?
Yeah, I'm probably going to have to must to do that. Grr. It's because it's the tiny one, and it just doesn't last. It just does not last.
Laura, I'm so sorry. She's talking about freezing rain there. Yuck.
Ew.
Hi, Lisa. Lisa's here.
Not sure one of these little ones that actually
She's
looks
not
like it.
invested in pan pastel, but she's curious. Yeah, I think that's what got me going too, Lisa. It's like, gotta try it. It's another medium, right? Gotta try it.
Gotta try them all. It's kind of like
Right.
Pokemon. Gotta catch them all.
So I'm catching the edge here. I wanna get the edges of this too before I move on to my next layer.
Yeah, since you're doing a canvas, probably need to
Yeah.
do the edges.
Yeah, edges would be a good thing. Let's see. Go into the oranges from there. Let me grab that. And you see how it blends together here? Where's my camera? It makes almost instead of going to the browns like you would normally expect this to do, it's almost like a purple. I think that's so cool. I get
Yeah,
excited about simple things.
the blends you get are awesome
Yeah.
on pan pastels because they're not actually like blending in with each other like a paint. You can get a real true blend of the pigment. It's interesting what you get.
Yeah.
I've got out the applicator that actually even looks exactly like an eyeshadow thing now. It looks exactly like it. It's so funny.
Yeah. Is that the one that actually sticks into the little handle?
And now this is the one that came in one of my sets. It look like it's an eyeshadow, isn't it?
Well, okay, let me show you what I'm talking about. Because there is a handle for those. Let me see. Where's my...
Oh, if you wanted to do it
Yeah,
like a long thing.
yeah. I mean, there are these types of handles, which are great. And honestly, I have used these like when I want to use some other mediums because they have little pointy ends. But there's this type of handle
Oh, I don't have that kind of handle. That didn't come with my
these
set.
little, yeah, only it comes apart. These little pieces plug into, and this is what you get many times in the package that they're sending you. They're like this. You can buy them like this to replace, and these are cheaper than those. So if you're looking for a less expensive one, this handle, which I need to glue, and these. But you know me, I like to have different ones for different colors that I'm working with and different shapes. So there's this oval one, there's the flat end, there's also a pointy one, and I'm not sure where that is. Probably used it with some other medium. It's where it doesn't belong. And then a good thing to keep in your tool stash, which I put in the wrong place because now it's ruining my pointy pieces, is a dedicated pickup eraser for your pan pastel. And I like these ones that need, these I think work the best.
Oh, we didn't talk about
pastel.
that. Yeah, you can actually erase pan pastel. Yep. We didn't mention that.
So, and because this is kneadable and you can get it down to little fine lines, I mean, you can pick up, little fine lines with this. So, yeah.
That's a technique. You could put some on and then erase it and get what looks something like a resist thin, sort of like lighter and darker.
I'll pull one of these other ones out here. But you'll see me, I love these soft sponges. I use these with my paints a lot too, and they wash out beautifully. If you look in my wash water right now, you'll see that I have them in my wash water because I use them with acrylics also. They work great with acrylics and stenciling. So, as long as you're washing them out and being diligent about that, they're going to last you a long time. Where was I? I was doing a side here. There we go.
Yeah, you were doing a side. I went ahead and changed to my teeny tiny tipped one.
Uh-huh.
And even as I put it on, I tore it. I'm obviously too rough with it.
Well, yeah, they don't all fit quite right. You almost have to stretch them sometimes to get them over the end.
Yep, that's what I did. And then the sides of it kind of started to freak out when I did that. It was not happy with me. It was like, no, don't do that. You evil woman.
Barb's asking, is there some binder in the pastel that makes it creamier? Supposedly it doesn't create much dust. You're right, it does not. Well, it will if you pick up too much, okay? Here's the deal. If I take my sponge and I do more than a couple of swipes, let me do this for you. If I do more than a couple of swipes, it's going to crumble right in the pan. You're going to see extra dust in the pan. Now, this sponge is a big sponge. Let me get a different sponge. And the more you load, let me see if I can get this to do this. Okay, can you see the dust in the pan? Maybe not. I might have to lift it up. It creates loose particles there in your pan. So when you load, you only want to do a couple of quick swipes and make sure that you're loading that onto, just like that. A couple of quick swipes is going to be plenty for a load. And then you're going to, go to your canvas and it's going to go a long ways. So, and then, until you seal this, yes, you're going to be able to move it around. You're going to be able to pick it up with your eraser. You're going to be able to do a lot more removal of the product. But I just do a couple of swipes. I load about that much on. That was 2 swipes across my pan. And then I have plenty.
I'm not even sure I do 2. I just do 1.
Yeah. Well, especially if you're using the small tool. I mean, I'm
Yeah.
using the big sponges.
Yeah.
But if you're using a small tool, yeah, you don't need that much.
I just kind of like touch it and then I just
Yeah.
go on
Yeah.
to the things.
Are they messy like the chalks? No, they are not messy like the chalks. I mean, this is just a little tiny bit of residue on my surface. I keep, like I said, this cosmetic sponge around, and let me see if I can even get this stuff into a pile. That's all the residue that I have on my work surface, which is not much at all. They're not like chalks.
Yeah, they're creamy.
Yeah.
A lot more creamy.
So, and Shell and I were talking about this morning, why we don't have them out and use them more often. I think for me, it's the storage issue because these pans take up a lot of storage and they're across the room for me. And because they're not out here on my desk, I don't reach for them as often as I should because they're really a nice product.
They're an awesome product. And I never even remember I have them in the drawer, like a big deep drawer behind me. And I never even remember they're there. Then I said to myself when we were trying to decide what to do this week, you know what? We need to do pan pastels.
And it was a good call because we're doing them and I'm really enjoying myself because this is an easy way of applying color and getting blends.
Yep. When I said it, she wasn't that thrilled, but now she seems much happier.
Well, okay. And the reason I wasn't thrilled is because I am not an expert on any of this because like I said, I haven't spent the time playing with it. I know what I know, and that's about it. And I would like to do things that, I might have a little more knowledge about sometimes.
Yeah, but last week we did alcohol inks, and I wasn't an expert on that, so it's only fair.
Hey, it's about play. It's about art play.
Yeah,
I don't
we're
have to
just
be an
playing.
expert in something to show you what I do with products. And a lot of times the experts would probably say, "Ack, what's she doing?" Because, I do it my way. I do it my way.
I do it my way too. And you know what is cool about that is that doing it my way makes me come up with stuff that other people aren't doing.
Yeah.
It makes me more innovative. So I don't have any problem doing it my way.
Your drawing is looking awesome, Shell. I'm really enjoying that.
Thank you. It's going to be funny at the end. Right now, I'm just doing boring old giraffes, but just wait. You just wait. If I make it to the end, it's going to be funny.
Okay. I will be holding my breath in anticipation.
Well, don't hold it too long because this
What
might take
kind of
me a minute.
sealer? I use a varnish as the final surface, but until then, as I do my layers, I'm going to use the Spectrafix, and I'm going to use the Spectrafix right now because I have my first layer down and I want to layer some more things over the top of it. So here I go. I'm going to put my layer of Spectrafix on, which means tipping it up just like we did before and gently spraying the surface with the Spectrafix. It dries pretty quickly.
And it's not
You
stinky.
can hit it with a heat tool, so it's non-toxic. It's something that about everybody can use. So, yeah. Let's see.
And we can, if I remember, I can put a link in the description box below the video to Spectrafix, so you can look it up and see what it is.
No, actually, I am. Lisa's asking me if I'm in Michigan. No, I'm in Iowa. But once that stuff hits the Midwest, everybody gets it. Okay. I want to blend a little bit more in here because I have a hard line that I don't like.
Ew, no hard lines.
No hard lines. So I need to dry this. So I'm going to mute for just a second.
Okay. I'm having a little trouble.
Whoops.
With mine trying to come off. I put a layer of Spectrafix on there, and because I taped it down with washi tape, trying to make it so that I wouldn't tear the paper when I removed it, it's buckling. So I should have probably dried as well. But I didn't, so we'll just move on. What happened to my tool? I had a tool here a second ago. Where did it go? Oh, I must have been cleaning it. All right, let's get some yellow. Let's get a little bit of yellow over here. I know you guys can't see my palettes because they're not on the screen, but I just have them like kind of to the side here, and I'm just touching once, just touch and then apply. Because I'm just doing my little painting here. I kind of wished in hindsight now that I would have done the actual drawing with my pastel pencils, because I was thinking since the pastel is opaque, that it would cover my graphite on there, but it's really not. So I was planning on adding details anyway. You guys who watch me and watch my channel know that I like lines around things. So I was planning on doing that anyway. Now, if you get a pastel that's starting to look like it has a lot of stuff on it and you're not picking it up very well, you can just take your paper towel and just kind of like press and wipe. And I think I got maybe some Spectra Fix on that one, and it's not like coming up as well. That's my one of my titanium whites. I have more than one for highlight here on this side. So I think this paper might be getting a little bit fatigued. Ah, it keeps peeling up, darn it.
Oh my, that's not good.
No, I think I'm gonna have to put masking tape because it just keeps coming up.
Yeah, and it works, the pan pastels work really well over things on your page, like if you're putting tape down or if you're embossing, any of that kind of stuff, the pan pastels will work beautifully over that.
So is yours dry?
It is dry. I'm just moving back to a little more stenciling. I want to get some more texture on here. So this time I'm just going to go to that Emboss It Dabber.
Oh yeah, the dauber.
Yeah. So, and I'm going to go right over that area that had that kind of like line demarcation on here. So I'm going to go through the middle, a little bit over here, rule of threes kind of thing, and a little bit up here. And then I want to grab some of this. It's a blue. Let me see what color this is. I can't tip it over because it's got crumbly stuff in there. This is a phthalo blue shade.
So that means it's phthalo blue with black added. For those of you who like to blend. Oh, and now I have I'm having trouble.
Oh.
I have a big wrinkle and it won't tape down. Because, yeah, I just gonna have to have a wrinkle. That's just life. Life in the wrinkle lane.
Yeah.
I'm sure y'all can relate. It's more like a bubble. I don't know what happened there for sure. Okay, where did my tools go? I think I'm going to do a little bit of that stencil and Versamark 2 down here at the bottom of my paper. I want to put some ferns in, and I have this fern stencil. Hopefully I can apply the Versamark well enough to, maybe I'll get a cosmetic sponge or something. I'm going to do that. I'll be right back.
Okay. So I've got a little more, because I put some fixative down there, I'm just using my eraser to pick up some of this color that ended up not exactly where I wanted it. I didn't want it out quite so far, so I'm just using my pickup eraser to pull back a little bit. And I'm pretty happy with that.
Wearing a headset makes me sweaty. It does.
Yeah.
I feel like, ugh.
Okay, so I think I want to put a little stamping on here. What do I have? Oh, I have these. Not even sure where I got these from. Interesting. And that's the beauty of this, is that you can come in over the top and stamp and draw and do all kinds of things. Oh, hi, Shannon. Shannon's joined us. She says she sees something purty.
Party. So that worked perfectly. So I used my little stencil.
Cindy says we all end up with wrinkles. So true. What the heck? I'm not into that.
So this is my very dirty Versamark pad and a cosmetic sponge, and I'm just patting the Versamark through here on my little, because the reason I wanted the cosmetic sponge is because I wanted to be able to control which section of the stencil I wanted to use. Like I don't want to just make it an overall thing. I want to make it kind of specific. And so you can kind of see the watermarking happening there. And then when I go over it with pastel, it comes right out. See?
Just being specific, folks.
I'm being specific. And there's some little ferns in the bottom of my paper to kind of go around my little guys. So that is going to work swimmingly.
I think I'm going to use some Stays On ink.
Does anybody else think Stays On ink smells good? Or is it just me?
Honestly, a number of people think it smells pretty good.
It does. It smells good. I like it.
But here's the thing. When you're stamping on a surface like this, you need some kind of backer because this is a canvas and canvas gives. So I need to stick something in behind. And I keep knocking over my glass plate. Oh my gosh. It's a comedy of errors. It just is. What can I say?
Got too much stuff on the desk. That's what happens
Yeah,
to me.
I know. I'm a klutz and I have it all under there where I'm kicking it with my feet. Shannon says she could hate you because she's jealous.
For what reason?
Because you can draw, I think. Okay, so I have, here's something I can use. I have one of these water things to clean my brushes with. I just need a hard surface behind there to shove in behind there if I'm going to stamp, right?
Good plan.
So,
and
okay.
Shannon doesn't hate me. She loves me.
Yeah, she really does. I know she does.
When I saw her at Creativation, she gave me a hug.
Well, yay.
So it's all a lie.
Okay, so I'm going to ink this up. I'm going to stamp it on some tissue first to make sure that my stamps are working good. The nice thing about these is they're not inking well.
Do you need to re-ink your smelly Stays On?
No, this is a brand new Stays On. The problem is these are brand new stamps. You know, you need to season your stamps.
Oh, yeah.
Because they don't always work right the first time, every time, right?
No, they do not.
So maybe I'll stamp these one at a time instead of putting them together on the block. That might be a plan. Might be a plan. And here we go. Hold your breath. Hold your tongue just right. Wish me luck.
Am I the only one who sticks my tongue out when I stamp? Probably not, but the rest of you might not admit it.
Well. Oh, no. Did not work. All right, I'll just write it in. What the heck?
Can always do that.
Although this is... I'm going to try it one more time. What the heck? That's part of the problem. I should have done it on tissue paper. Live and learn, folks. Live and learn. Should have done it on tissue paper.
Oh, you could still do that.
On there.
You could still do it.
And I'm going to take my block out of there. I'm going to use my fingers to push from the bottom side.
That usually works.
Because I can. Oh, and then the thing slid. Mm-hmm.
It might not be your day.
Create a canvas. This was the show you guys were looking for, right? The joys of working live. And I wish I could just wave the magic wand and say, poof, it worked. This is where the people who are smart have a backup and they pull it out from underneath their desk and say, see how beautiful? Yeah. So, yeah, I will be drawing that.
This is where you show them how to fix it.
Which means the Posca pens are coming out.
Posca pens are my favorites. They are my favorite thing in the world. Yes, yes.
You there, Shell?
You can't hear me? What? Nothing happened.
I'm not hearing her. You guys hear Shell?
Anyone? Do you hear me? They hear me.
Okay,
it's just
cool. Like normal.
Oh, I'm a little bit tired of all of it, all of this stupidness.
Ah, the beauty of Posca pens.
I guess Peg didn't hear me singing about Posca pens either.
I wish I knew whose stamps these were.
Yours.
Yeah. No, I meant who produced them. As in, I think I got them in a kit from someplace. I don't know. I'd like to be able to tell them where I got them from. If anybody recognizes them, they can tell them.
It's a secret.
I have a lot of supplies like that. It's like, wonder where I got that.
So I think I'm going to seal this little guy. That guy and that guy. And then I'm going to get out my pastel pencils. I probably should work on the middle guy though, but I don't know. I'm going to finish off these two other guys just in case we run out of time.
Yeah. What time is it? Yeah, we got about half hour.
Oh, seriously?
Seriously.
Oh my gosh.
I wouldn't lie to you.
Finish this.
I wouldn't lie to you.
I'm never going to finish this in time.
Well,
I thought that I would be able to make a painting in that amount of time. What the heck?
You have quite a bit of your painting done, honestly. I think it's looking really good. And you have a half an hour. Half an hour.
Yeah, but I better go ahead and start working on the central figure of my painting instead of messing with these little details that I like to do, you know, my fussy little details.
You're fussy? Yeah, you do fussy well.
I'm not sure if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
Just saying, you do fussy really well.
I like details. I like little details. They make me happy.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so Nikki says, I love your pieces of work, girls. Thank you, Nikki.
Thank you, Nikki.
She was just singing. Yeah, missed that.
Yeah. It was probably for the best.
It probably was not a bad thing. Oops, did I say that?
I think she's giving me a hard time, people. I think you should speak to her about that.
Let's see. What am I going to put on here? I think I need some glue. I think I need some glue that's going to work. How's that?
Well, that is the best kind of glue.
And I think I want to put some edging on here. So I'm just going to take my stays on and run around the edge. Run around. I'm going to run around.
It's okay. I won't tell your husband. You've been running around.
I can hear you. Yeah.
See what difference details make. I like them.
Thanks, Ian. Yeah, sometimes you just have to roll with it. You know, stamping on canvases is not it's not all it's cracked up to be. Tissue paper is great for that, and had I prepared a little bit better, I probably would have done the tissue paper thing, you know, because you can stamp on the tissue paper. And yeah, I didn't do that. So I think I'm just going to draw. I need to do some more symmetry on here. So I think I'm going to keep on going with those Poscas, right? Oh, and I got buttons over here, so I should add some more buttons. That's an idea. How about some buttons? Who's got the buttons? Oh, those lambs. Okay, you take care of those lambs, Nikki, all right? See you next time. Yeah, I've got, oh, these are fun. It's like every time I open this jar, it's like, oh, look at that. I got fun stuff. Ooh, I like that one. And that's kind of fun. Do I have any tealy colored ones? I got a pink. Pink would be good. Oh, here we go. Now we're getting into the colors. Yeah, yeah, baby. Those are good. I got colors. So let's get some glue. Are you breathing, Shell?
I forgot I muted. Yes, I'm breathing.
I wondered where you went. It's like, I wonder if she's still breathing.
Yeah, I had to dry some
Okay.
of my
Okay.
Spectrafix. And a good little tip, people, is if you have done a part of your piece and you keep putting your hand over it and getting pastel all over the side of your hand, put a piece of paper over it. Because you know I'm like leaning right here to do my detailing work, and I'm getting a mess all over everything. So I'm coloring my my central guy now, and he or she is not a giraffe. He or she is a girafficorn.
Oh, all right.
Because I was watching some cooking show. Well, I like to watch baking, and there's a couple of YouTube channels that I watch, and one of them is this really happy, crazy guy named Joshua John Russell. I think his name is John Joshua. Anyway, he makes cakes, and he has this whole crowd in there of other guys, and they were all joking and teasing him about the cake that he made, which was a unicorn, but its neck was really long, and so
Oh,
they
yeah.
were calling it a girafficorn. And I thought,
Oh, how cute
that's
is that?
hilarious. I'm going to make a girafficorn. That's what I said.
Well, yeah.
So I figured I would put the
Great idea.
girafficorn with the giraffes, and then it would all be like, oh, stand out, be different, be unique, be yourself.
Yes.
Yeah, that was my idea.
I think that's cool. Cool idea.
So
Let's see, what color do I not have?
hopefully I can finish my girafficorn in time.
Oh, you're doing really good.
I feel like my
So-
tool is dirty.
Debbie has those stamps. I believe they're Tim Holtz product. Oh, okay, cool. Could be. I was out at, if you guys have a Joann's store, check out your Joann's, because I was out at Joann's and they were clearancing a whole bunch of the Tim Holtz stuff. I mean, I got alcohol ink and all kinds of stuff, like half price. Half price.
And she told me that, so I went to the Joann's store and they didn't have any of that stuff. So, sometimes you win and most of the time you lose.
Yeah. It was not in the regular section. It was over in a clearance area. Just saying, if you
Yeah.
guys are looking, check out the clearance.
I went to the clearance and they had bins and bins of paper. Well, I don't need paper.
No.
They had a ton of nice cardstock weight, colorful paper if I didn't already have a bazillion amounts of it.
Yeah.
I would have picked that up, but they did not have any Tim Holtz stuff. So then I went to the Tim Holtz section and they had hardly any Tim Holtz stuff in the Tim Holtz section. So then I
Yeah.
thought, well, maybe they had a bunch of stuff that they were clearancing and they got rid of it already.
It's possible. I mean, I think they are changing up what they're going to carry. Just saying.
Yeah, like they do. But I was sad because I went all the way down there being all excited, like, oh, I'm going to get something good. And I didn't.
You're talking about the sheep.
Little lammies,
Uh-huh.
spring lammies. So cute.
Yeah. Okay, I'm not really liking this, but what the heck? I did something, right?
Yeah, you don't like it?
I'll change it later.
There's always that. You can always change it.
Which I do. You know me.
Yeah.
I can paint over a lot of things.
Absolutely.
I don't think I like that button there. Or that one there. One there.
Be gone with you, evil button. She does not like you.
Yeah. Let me get off of the button kick. Do something else. Although I have a lot of buttons out here. I have a lot of buttons that I need
One
to
or
use
two.
in something. Well, originally I was going to do some jewelry with buttons. Have you guys done button jewelry? That's kind of fun. Yeah. Haven't done that either. too many things to do. I did make a mermaid, though.
She showed me the mermaid. You guys will be needing to look over on her channel when she puts it up. It's pretty awesome. When is that going to be? Soon?
Yeah, as soon as I can get it uploaded and edited, I think. I've got a couple things in process. You know how that goes.
I do. I have a lot of things in process.
Well, let's just use up some of this really old stuff here.
Good plan. Use up old stuff is always a good plan.
I don't know why my chat won't scroll on its own.
Mine doesn't. I have to actually physically scroll it.
Huh. Interesting. Well, or not. It's like, eh. Yeah, you know, we've all got this stuff in our stash, like buttons. When's the last time I used a button that we need to use? So that's what I'm doing today, is I'm using up stash. Because I can.
All right, let's see. Top here.
These are kind of fun. I think these were probably K & Company originally. You know, I had a lot of K & Company. I went down to visit them one time. I went down to Kansas City. Their company was really interesting because they had all their stuff in the caves. They had these catacombs that were full of their company stuff.
Weird.
Well, it was like stuff from the 50s where they were building underground caves because of the nuclear threats and all of that. And they had turned it into business offices. It was kind of cool because, you know, you went down, they had, it was way back in, you had to take a little electrified trolley in when they were showing you around because it was quite a walk.
Huh. Sounds wild.
It was wild. So, but you know, you go in there and they'd have the racks and racks of their beautiful papers and embellishments, and you go into the offices, which were, you know, just like regular offices, but it had the rock, you know, it was carved out of the rock, and kind of interesting to see. Okay, I got 2 more embellishments on this thing. I think I just might as well use them all up, right?
Mm-hmm. I think so.
Do an overkill on this one. There we go. All right. Okay. Getting quiet again. She must be thinking.
Trying to paint my giraffe cone.
Yeah.
Yep. Somebody's got to.
Okay.
You gonna come over and paint my giraffe corn?
Well, we could have a paint day. We could just have a play day.
That'd be fun.
Okay, so now I have glue everywhere and it's stuck to me. Do your fingers ever get stuck to your project?
I will neither confirm or deny that.
All right, I'm gonna call this one quits, and we've got about 15 minutes, so I'm gonna do something else
Okay.
just to show them while you're doing your Jurassic horn thingamabobby.
He or she is pretty cool. I must say.
bet.
If I was a giraffe, I would want to be a giraffe core. I think. Wouldn't
Sounds
you?
like a cool thing to do. I love giraffes. You know, I told you about going out to the safari in San Diego. And that was so much fun because you ride around in the truck and they give you the leaves to feed the giraffes.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So I had fun with that.
Don't you have one of my giraffe paper paintings? Didn't you?
No, I had your turtle.
Oh, the turtle. Okay. Who has the giraffe?
That's actually in my grandson's bedroom because we call him Turtle. That's his nickname. When he was a baby, he used to stick his neck out like a turtle.
Oh, cute.
Sorry, I dropped you.
Oh, dear.
My headset just fell right off my head because I was reaching for an embossing folder. Let me find a cool one here. I know I have some cool ones. Don't want Halloween.
Yeah, it's not really Halloween right now.
Don't want Thanksgiving. Oh, here. This one looks like metal. Here we go. Let's do this one. I think this would be cool.
I think I need some blending stumps. I think that would be a good thing.
So I'm across the room where you can't see me, and I'm going to run some paper through my die cut machine with an embossing folder or two.
You can hear it. It goes whir, 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 whir.
No, I haven't even turned it on yet.
Well, then I hear you wiggling around.
Oh, okay.
Something's going whir.
Okay. Da, 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 da. I have embossed paper.
As it should be.
So, a couple different pieces here. And what I want is, I'll get the right colors out here. I don't think I need this. I want some metallics. I'll get a bronze and a pewter. And that's a gray, that's not silver. This is, yeah, they come in metallics and pearlized too, if you guys are interested. And the other product that's really good to have is the blending. There's a blender which helps move the color and blend it without adding a white or a black to it. So if you're interested in pan pastel, I would say get a blender.
Oh, I don't have that.
Get these other pans out of my way. Oh, copper. I probably should do a little copper because I know somebody likes that.
Copper.
Copper, copper, copper. Oh, oh, oh. Okay. One more pan. Get one more pan out here. And I have a silver and a rich gold. So I have quite a few of the metallics.
I don't think I even have one metallic.
Oh, well, you know I like my metals. But
True,
this is the colorless blender. So you probably want one of those too, Shell. Just saying.
Okay.
Let me help you spend some more money, okay? What did people
Because
say in
that's
here?
what I need to do.
Okay, so I'm going to clean my sponge. Just cleaning my sponge off on my paper. I've got some blues and things in here. And on this one, because it's like really, it looks almost like those truck bottom things, you know, the liners that they put in trucks. I want to put some silver on here. I think I'm going to add a little bit of this. Oops. But I also, what's this one? This one that is pewter. So let me put a little pewter down here, show you. Look at coverage. And if your fingers get sticky, you know, you can just use another piece of paper to hold with. But this is really cool. I mean, if you don't have metal papers and you need metal, this is awesome. Because you get that pretty shimmer. And then this is the pearl medium black fine. And I'm just going to hit the highlights a bit with that one. And yeah, can you see? It's like truck
Looks like
bottom
metal,
right?
Yeah.
Like the stuff in the liners of the trucks. Okay, let's do some of these brights. Let's do some golds and things. Clean off this sponge. And this one is the light gold. Oh, that's pretty. I like that a lot. You see that light gold? Okay. Then this one is the gold rich. Oh, I like that too. Yeah, babe. Very cool. Gold rich. Then we're going to the bronze. Oh, this is so pretty. And the copper. I'm going to go back to that light one. And I'm going to blend back this direction with that.
Need a darker gray, darker gray.
Yeah, you dig this copper, Shell.
That would probably be the one I would buy.
So, you guys see this? Really pretty. So I'm gonna come back with that copper because I really like that one. And I'm gonna blend down using that. Oh yeah, liking that. Okay, so you guys see there's a little bit of residue because I was working it pretty good. I can take my sponge and clean most of that up. Take my paper towel, clean that off on my paper towel, and then where's my my duster? Here's my duster. I can take my duster and get the majority of that. Now when I'm done for the day, I'll just take a wet baby wipe and get the rest of that. So let me get that for you. But I mean, look, here's all my pretty color. You can use that too, right? Just hit it with some Spectrafix and use that in your art someplace else. Actually, if I die cut or punch that, let me see what I can do with that. Let me grab a punch.
Girafficorn.
Use this in a while. Let's see how this works. I'm going to put some paper backer behind this because it is a soft, flimsy paper. Not sure how it's going to punch. There we go. But if you back it with some other paper, usually does pretty well. Oops. Tore that one. Tore that one getting it out, but if I put a little glue stick on there, and glue him down. There. Now I have a butterfly embellishment on my piece. And I'm not sure what size this is. This is some alcohol ink paper that's left over from the other day. You know, we just keep working, right? We just keep working with what we have. This is 5, which is good, by 3.5. Not bad. Let me cut that down. So if I cut this to, let's go 5 and 4 3/4 by 3 1/4. Mount that on there. Have paper strips to put on something else. Get my glue stick. And glue it down. There's my butterfly. Probably punch one more for good measure. Nikki says she likes the rainbow giraffe.
Girafficorn
Girafficorn.
has a horn. If I had some of that metallic, I'd put the metallic on his horn.
That would have been perfect, right?
Yeah.
Next time.
Next time.
Okay, why is that not punching?
Is it time? Have we run out of time?
Oh, because I got it upside down. It is, yeah, we're just right on the money.
Okay. I guess we're done then, huh?
I guess you're probably right.
Girafficorn isn't done, but what can you do? Can only be a girafficorn for so long.
Yeah.
Just going to add a little bit more ferns down here at the bottom, and I guess I'll call it done. As done as it's going to get. I guess I was overly ambitious.
No, you? How could that be? Yeah, it's okay. I think everybody was enjoying what you were doing, so don't sweat the small stuff.
There is my girafficorn. Stand out, be unique. Don't do what everyone else is doing unless you want to.
Right.
It's kind of what she's saying. Pictures will be posted later. You know, I'll probably fuss around with it a little bit more.
Yeah, you probably will, because you like to fuss around a little more.
I do. I'm pretty fond of that myself.
So how did you like using the stencil and stuff?
Oh, I think that's really fun. Back in the days when I was Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, I used to do that technique all the time with the chalk, the chalks that we had. Stamping with the Versamark and then going over it with the chalk was one of my favorite things to do. And it's very similar with the pan pastel. So,
yep.
And it made some nice ferns down at the bottom for my little giraffes to stand in. So that's all good.
So there, I made a quick little card out of my play with the embossing.
Awesome.
And there's my canvas from today. So I think that's about it for me. How about you, Shell?
Yep, I've just got this one little painting and it's pretty much done. I'm adding some white highlights with the pan pastel, but that's about it. So, and I've already showed it to him, so I think we're pretty much out of here.
Yeah, I think Debbie is talking with Holly. I haven't said hello to Holly, I guess.
Oh, Hi,
So
Holly.
I don't know if she came in late or what, but hello, Holly. So, okay, so that's a wrap, and we will see you again next week. We'll post whatever it is we decide to do, and you can click that little bell down below so you get notification about those. We will be at 10:30, remember, because of Shell's time change. We have to go a little bit later, so just remember it'll be a 10:30 start.
Yep.
And
A little
thanks
bit
again
later
for
than
watching
usual.
and being here with us. We enjoyed
Yep.
having you.
And don't forget to give a thumbs up and a comment below and all those things too, because this channel really isn't growing particularly. And that's because nobody knows it is around. So don't forget to do that stuff when you think of it.
Thanks, everybody.
Yep. Bye-bye.
Bye.